Hi, everyone. My name is Galila Yosef. I'm the Marketing and Strategic Partnership Specialist at CAI National. I'm excited to welcome you to today's HOA Live webinar. The HOA Live webinar series is your opportunity to participate in a 30-minute product-focused forum featuring insights from industry experts and provides a virtual space to connect with CAI National Corporate members, business partners, and industry leaders. Please note that this webinar is not part of CAI's professional development offerings, and it does not provide continuing education credits. Instead, HOA Live allows you to learn about new and differentiated products, tools, and best practices, highlighting everything from product launches to sale promotions and more. At the end of the presentation, we'll open the floor for Q&A. As a participant, your audio is muted, but you're welcome to submit your questions at any time using the chat or the Q&A panel, and we will read them out loud at the end. A recording of this session will also be sent to all registrants and will be posted on hoaresources.com. Today, we are very pleased to welcome ManageCasa, a CAI partner who will be presenting on the topic of AI in community association management. I'll now turn it over to Drew to kick off today's presentation.
Yeah, thank you for the intro. Appreciate it. I'm happy to be here. Let me tell you a little bit about. First of all, I'll tell you a little bit about our company. Peter Koch was our founder, and he's been active in the COA and the HOA space for over 25 years. And after he founded a company in another technology space, he took his passion about property management and HOA, COA space, and he turned that into ManageCasa. And it's our vision as a company that everything that we do is about providing community association management software to the software industry, the most innovative and intuitive solution available today. We believe that we've got a very powerful, intuitive UI design and the best that's on the market today. Let me tell you a little bit about me. I've been in technology for over 35 years, working in a number of different industries. I joined ManageCasa a little over 9 years ago, and as the chief technology officer, I'd like to believe that I've helped to make the powerhouse company that we have today. Just a couple personal things. I love hiking. I love being outdoors. I've recently, over the last couple of years, really dove into the AI revolution with both feet to better understand what can be done for this industry. Just as an aside, if you look up in the IEEE artificial intelligence space 36 years ago, you'll see an article that I did some research on a long time ago in the ancient in the computer space, but I did some AI research way back then. Okay, so I won't spend too much time in here. We already did the intros. We're going to talk about trends, uses, caveats with AI, and then spend a little bit of time talking about like where I see the future of AI going. Okay, so before we dive specifically into AI itself, it's worth noting that many community association professionals like you are already using AI tools today, right? The question no longer, the ship has sailed on whether we should use AI or not. It's no longer whether AI matters, but how do we use it effectively and responsibly? Today, most people are piecing together different disparate solutions. There's a lot of tools out there that do great things, but like all things, it's important to make sure that your tools all work together so you don't have you don't have to piecemeal everything. You don't have to put everything together. You don't have to work nearly as much. I'm going to go into these a little bit more in detail, but as a way of introducing kind of the main topics, we're going to cover three main aspects of AI in the association space: intelligence, or how the base level of AI can be used in its raw form to benefit you; assistance, how can how can you level the ability for AI to learn how to work more for less? And then finally, automation. Like, how can you start using the power of cumulative knowledge and training to greatly improve what you do day to day? All right, so intelligence is the underlying benefit of AI tools. The way the machine thinks is different from the way we as humans think. Our intelligence is based on personal experience and lessons learned from school or from work. Some people have intuition and can just know what to do, or just are lucky enough, frankly, to get things right time after time. AI intelligence, it's different. It's based on what has happened in the past. AI can make suggestions on data that it's collected on past activities and how it was trained to respond based on that past information. It's a different type of intelligence. It's based on algorithms and match percentages. It's a form of intelligence, but based on probability and the data that it has already reviewed. So that being said, when you look at AI intelligence, it's really into four different categories, and these categories there's a lot of overlap between the two, but I think it's helpful to think about these categories, right? So you've got preventative AI, which is like alerts that things fall outside of certain thresholds. An example here is, say you've got an IoT Internet of Things sensor out there combined with AI algorithms. It like prevent the clubhouse maintenance issues before they happen, or maybe the sensors in the pools notice something that's not going that well, and it can alert you to different things just based on patterns and that kind of stuff. So predictive predictive is using probability. You can uh, you can it can give you suggestions on outcomes if something happens. So for example, AI identifies 12 homeowners with increasingly late payments, right? And that's a risk. So the AI can say, it can proactively reach out to you and say, look, hey, you need to get on top of these property owners before they become seriously delinquent. Protective, right? Protective usually happens where you can train the AI engines, to stop work or to change your workflows, that they should do something when something starts going sideways. So, a great example of this is, if you have a self-driving car, or even a lot of cars today, they have all these sensors that will stop the car automatically if it senses that there's a car behind you or something. So that's the internal AI analyzing things, right? So that includes like resident payment and community data to detect anomalies and flag for potential fraud, for example. And then finally, prescriptive AI. And these are the things that we're kind of using a little bit more these days, which is using AI to recommend the best course of action, right? So, for example, say your reserve spending exceeds your budget by 15%, and AI flags that trend and recommends maybe a board review before year end. So these are the four kind of main kind of different areas. So when we talk about AI assistance, right? Assistance in the AI world is probably the most used aspect of AI today. With the proliferation of chatbots like Claude and Gemini and others, this tool has really become not only available to everyone, but very useful as well. So, for an example, right? Say someone does something, really annoying, and you get out, you start drafting an email that's maybe a bit inflammatory, right? So most email tools today will give you an option to clean up that email. I tell you, that's really helped me from time to time, right? From putting my foot in my mouth, because it's a great form of assistance to save me from making some like a bad situation worse. It's also good for making a good situation better, right? Just having something or something, right, to clean up your verbiage, to present the best of ourselves is super, super useful, right? Most email tools, if you use Gmail or whatever, it's like built in. It's absolutely fantastic. So it's not only that, but having and using AI to read through communications and determine what we should do saves us a ton of time. From thinking what should we do. So for example, ManageCasa's tool today does this every day, right? Someone writes a simple request like Mr. Smith's grass is too long, and they put that in the tool. They don't have to, the tool, the AI knows who wrote the message, what community they're in, and more importantly, what property Mr. Smith owns, right? Right. So from there, we can create a violation ticket or a maintenance request or whatever for the system to review automatically. So it's assisting not only the person who's making the request, but also the association as well to determine exactly what needs to be done and who needs to do it. Right? It's like having a personal assistant available 24/7. So other kind of examples is the ability to draft homeowner communications automatically or to summarize meetings, right? Or even just to answer common questions. Things come in and you've got your the different documents that you have available that everyone should read, but no one ever does, right? And so when someone asks a question, we can look up in those documents and the AI tool will say, hey, by the way, it's in section 2, paragraph 3 or whatever. So really super useful and the assistance piece is only just getting started. So a lot of assistants are out there today, right? And here's the thing, right? So the more that the AI engine learns about your business, right, the better it will evolve, right? Remember, AI is based on what's happened in the past, and it can make predictive information based on what's going to go. So it's not that it will always get it right, but it's predictive, right? So the more it learns, the better it can predict the probability something will happen. This is the beauty and the problem with AI. It's only as good as what it's been trained on. So as we evolve and trust these AI tools, we can give it more and more work for us to do. This will continue to evolve in the tool as the tools learn more about how we do our work. Like, for example, in the software development world, which is the world I live in, right? All good developers are learning more and more to use AI agents to help them with their software, right? It doesn't eliminate the need for software developers, but it makes us more productive. We can train the tool to learn how we write software and have it learn how the code works. So it can actually mimic us, right? It'll give us solutions on how to better clean up our code, eliminate bugs, and prevent future bugs by writing tests for us. Same is true for the association world. AI tools can learn how you process maintenance tickets, how you read your bylaws, and can send out automated messages based on the information that has come in. It can even review what you have done and suggest a course of action based on what you have responded to in the past. This, with creative solutions and software, can allow you to create powerful automated routines to accomplish mundane tasks with no intervention. It's all super powerful. It's not to eliminate your job, but to free you up to be more strategic with your business. And yeah. So anyway, I won't spend that much time on this. There's a lot of options out there today with existing softwares and tools, right? The ability to incorporate them into your business ranges from really low skill levels to be able to bring them into your business. You just pull them off the shelf, you start using them, to very high if you want to have a very integrated, specific stuff with your own particular solution. It's really up to you what you want to tolerate as far as how much you want to invest from your company integrating different technologies. This is a really kind of a cute video that we created just as an example to dive in before we jump into a number of different slides, but it just gives some examples of how AI tools can work today.
Hi there. Here's how our AI bot makes booking simple. Choose the amenity. For example, the pool. Pick a time, 2 to 3 p.m. Need a deposit? No problem. Click Confirm. And just like that, the booking is complete. And that's it. Quick, simple, and completely automated. Our AI assistant handles everything, from checking availability to confirming your booking, so you can focus on enjoying your day. Smart, fast, and reliable. This is Manage HOA AI.
Apologies. The audio didn't come through. It basically was booking an amenity. Yeah, we'll come back to it if we have time. It's just kind of interesting. Okay, so wait, let me. All right, so why adopt AI, right? There's a lot of operational efficiencies that are there. It's scalable, right? Because it's just something that's running behind the scenes. It's extremely scalable. There's a lot of, if you give it enough data, right, it can make some really good data-driven decisions for you. It gives you a strategic advantage, right? There's a lot of benefits to using AI. There's some limitations though, so things that you need to really consider, right? Privacy is a huge issue, right? Where's your data being stored? Is it being stored within your own kind of bucket, or is it just, when you use it, like most, we use Claude or Chat GPT, you ask questions, your stuff, your questions, your data, everything you're doing is out in the wild. It's available to anybody. That's how these chatbots work, right? They learn from everybody and they get better and better and better. But by using them globally, you're giving your data to the world for ChatGPT to learn, right? So you got to think about privacy. You got to think about security, what's important, what's not. Do you care if your stuff is out there, right? Commingled with everybody else's data. Um, Remember, it's predictive, right? So reliability of outcomes is getting better. It's getting better. It will still always require someone to review it. Otherwise, I don't know if you've heard, there's been hallucination problems where it hallucinates, or the AI engine also wants to be very helpful. So sometimes it makes up things to make it seem like it's being helpful to you, where it's not actually true. It's helpful, but it's not very true. So you have to worry about reliability, um, and it needs proper oversight. Okay, so I got to speed this up a little bit because I'm going to go over a little bit over time. But I would be remiss if I didn't spend some time talking about the use of tools in our business. Right? There's been many instances over the years where new tools have appeared and everyone's jumped all over them. All right, I've got a whole list of things. I'm going to skip over that, but the idea is AI is just another tool. Today, it's a sexy new tool. It's a toy to experiment with and to figure out how to use it. However, everything is not a nail where we can use AI to pound on it, right? We need to think about what we are trying to accomplish. And if a tool like AI will help us along that path, right? Will AI make you more efficient and better in your day-to-day work? Is the question you should always ask yourself. All right, so AI is just about ready, just getting started, right? So, like the internet in the early 1990s, we're just getting started. We have seen multiple technology waves in the past 30 years. The WWW of the 1990s internet, advertising in the 2000s, blockchain in the 2010s, and now the AI revolution. Today, most AI applications are based on chat prompts, cleaning up letters, wacky images, and kind of simple tasks, right? But like every new technology, it's going to evolve and refine. Like how the steam engine created Luddites and other anti-technology movements, I feel like AI will also have its detractors, right? From people who think it will cause Skynet or the end of human civilization to people who rely too much on AI and get caught up in the glitz. And the truth is probably somewhere in between. AI will definitely create new jobs as it evolves from fact checkers to prompters, and who knows what else. AI will also aid in research and design in new and more efficient ways. All of these will generate new jobs and new skill sets as AI frees us up from the mundane tasks we do day in and day out. And it's not scary, but AI will provide us opportunities to do more with less. So going forward, as robotics enhanced vision technology and AI evolves, the future will combine all available resources and the world interconnectivity to create new ways of doing things. Imagine a robot who will do service calls based on tenant communications and will handle billing based on the services provided, with alerts to people to review issues in real time for confirmation. These technologies will need people to check and review the hard work that could be handled by an AI controlled entity. So the future really is whatever we can imagine it to be as a human race, and we will continue to use our creativity in interesting and new ways. All right, that's all I have. Here's my questions slide, and I think we can go to questions.
Yeah, thank you, Drew. Yes, at this time, we'll open the floor for Q&A. So if you have any questions, please feel free to put it in the chat or in the QA panel. I'm not seeing any questions so far, but please put them in the chat if you have any.
It's a great question. So there's two things that I see within enforcements, right? One is the creation process, right? Going in and say you've got certain bylaws or certain charges and stuff that go out, right? AI can read, your own specific bylaws and can read all of the restrictions and things that are around that, and based on the what comes in, right? The text that comes in, or even someone just dictating something, it can process through all those documents. It can auto create those enforcements in software, but also, say there's a fee attached to something or whatever, right? It could be part of that. The other thing is pictures, right? Doing image recognition has also become kind of commoditized at this point. So having the AI kind of verify as well through images and text, it can really do a lot of things where it doesn't necessarily require you to create these things or even to verify them, right, based on timestamps and all that kind of good stuff. That you can really minimize a lot of that kind of manual effort.
Oh, I see another question here. Summer asked, is this product an add-on to Sync or a different PMS?
So we're a different PMS. ManageCasa is a different company. We're similar, I think better than Sync. Sync is kind of from it's been around for a long time. It's got kind of I'm not gonna, but I feel like we're just like Sync, if not better. And it is something that comes by default with our growth plan at ManageCasa, and you can reach out to us and learn more. I'm a technology guy. I don't.
Awesome. Coleman asked, how do you decide where to store everything that goes through whatever AI platform you use?
Again, this goes back to the privacy, right? So most tools that are available today, you're at the mercy, frankly, of where that data is being stored. If you can create your own kind of libraries within chat, right? But that usually requires some sort of subscription. A lot of it comes down to how much you worry about privacy and security, right? There are solutions out there. ManageCasa, for example, our AI, our tools, it's all private, right? So we keep it all separate, right? We keep it in its own bucket. It's not commingled with the world. Most tools that are out there, they leverage against what's out there as well. Some use private, some don't. So it really comes down to your pain level on privacy and security. So I always recommend being more private and not letting your stuff get commingled with the rest of the world. Hopefully that answered your question, Coleman.
I have another question for you. Gregory said there was an example of AI being asked which homeowners are delinquent. How is AI able to retrieve that information? Does it have access to the HOA's financial data?
So a lot of that has to do with what you feed it, right? The information you feed it. So, for example, I can speak to how we do it at ManageCasa in our system because it's in the system, right? It's all within the confined within the ManageCasa system. The AI chatbot, we call it Mini. It's a little cute little dog. Mini actually can read all the financial data as long as you're using the financial data within Managed Casa. And this is true for other systems as well. If it's part of that particular system, most likely they can see the data that's in there, the financial data that's already been entered into the PMS, and it can act against it. So it's learning based on the data that's available to it within its own space. If you're using like Claude out of the gate or ChatGPT, most likely it won't have it unless you extract your data and then you put the financial data in there. And in that case, you've trained it, you've given it the information that it needs to make those decisions.
Awesome. There are a couple more questions, so we have time. Johnson had a follow-up question to the first question. And they said, since AIs are developed from past data, how would they keep up with new laws like the WUCIOA?
Yeah, that's so there's two things. There's global data, right? So there's data that's available that comes out via state or federal or community related, or right. So that data needs to get fed into, and most PMS software would do that, right? So they take in that data and they load it up. It just becomes part of that new archive, that new set of information that the AI chatbots have available. If it's association company related, your company related, that information can be uploaded as well. So, within our tool, we've got something coming out in the next 2 weeks that actually allows you to put up any number of bylaws or documents, and that just becomes part of the knowledge base that AI has to be able to respond. So it really depends on the tool, but it does need to have that information. It's not like it's going to magically appear, right? It has to be fed into the system, whether the PMS software company does it for you, or if you do it yourself, right?
Thank you. One last question. Hazel said, I'm new to AI. Is this another application we purchase and download?
So yeah, I don't know if you ever asked the software guy a question. He always starts off with, it depends, right? So it depends, right? So there's a lot of free tools out there today. You give up some of your privacy to do that. There's a lot of PMS softwares out there that has a base level, right? Like Managed Casa, we give you a baseline version of the chatbot, the ability to ask questions and for it to do stuff. Some other software companies, they have add-ons, right? The more you do, you have to pay for this, or you want to be able to do this, you have to do that, right? We give a baseline. We also have some upgrade options as well. Usually though, with all these AI tools, AI is expensive. It's burning through the electrical grid, right? You hear about this all the time. So it is expensive, right? And so at some point, when you start using it a lot, then it will start charging you. You will have to pay a certain amount for it. Even the free tools have their limit, and then you end up burning through your credits and you have to pay for it.
Great. I believe that is all the questions that we have for today. So we'll go ahead and move into our closing remarks. On behalf of CAI, I would like to thank ManageCasa and you, Drew, for today's informative presentation. And thank you to everyone who joined us today and participated in the Q&A. As a reminder, a recording of this webinar will be emailed to all registrants, so please keep an eye out for that. Thank you again, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you.